All right. We are tapping into YouTube, which I already thought I was going streaming on for the past 3 minutes. So we're gonna I'm recording this, but for my live audience, we'll pull it back. Rewind selector.
I guess you wonder where I've been.
Guess you wonder where I've been.
I searched to find the love within.
I searched to find the love within.
I came back to let you know.
I came back to let you
Got a
know.
thing for you.
Got a thing for
that
you
that
I can't let go.
My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in the days from your love to see. I came back to let you know.
Got a thing for you.
That I can't let go. Oh no. Some people go around the world.
Ooh, get it, Bobby Caldwell.
Never find what they dream of.
What you won't do.
Do for love.
You may have thought Homeboy was black. He happens to be a white man. Shout out to white excellence. And the senoritas and senoritas and the negrositas and the negrositas. Everybody except for the Jews is pretty much who this one's going out to. And you know what? Even the Leibowitzes and the Schmelkensteins. We love you too. Just stop trying to erase everybody else off the face of the planet. That'd be great.
Not everything, but you won't give up. In my world, only you. Baby, do for love.
Mama, do for love what I wouldn't have to do.
My friends wonder what is wrong with me.
My friends do wonder what is wrong with me, especially my family. But it is what it is. Okay, my friends. We have an exciting show ahead of us. We have Laura Loomer telling us some interesting things about her fellow pupil. And we're going to look a little bit deeper. Perhaps it's not so... I don't want to accuse her, but I will. They'll give you some of the truth, but we're still in the sandbox, fighting each other. They're not gonna let us get out of that bird box, so they'll take on some blame to try to put out a fire, but they'll deflect, they'll redirect, and we never get to the source. It's almost, I don't know if they have a playbook that they go by, that they have emails that get sent out to them with talking points, but we'll go into that a little bit more. We have some Freudian slips. We have just pretty much going through my Twitter feed. First of all, see through it all. It's just continuing to post banger after banger. If you do not follow him, I don't know why not, but Christ Cuck Pastors, another person who obviously you should follow. Let me get Ben Shapiro dropped his fire rap song. We'll go into that. We might jump into some spaces that's always fun, just to randomly jump into spaces. Get made fun of. Wake Movement, my original Twitter page got suspended permanently. I thought maybe it was just for a temporary thing, but it's not. So that was over 1,000 followers. but now I'm already to 500. And I don't like to say followers because I feel like we're all fellow leaders here. And we all have if you're not making videos, if you're not posting, just you being there. Not all of us have the freedom to say these things. Some of us have a square job, perhaps even working for the government, a teacher, a professorship, and you're afraid to speak out on these things. And I feel for you. But I have sacrificed those things to live a lonely existence. But on us. Luckily, I don't have to, but I mean, it's probably keep me from getting a job in a university, whatnot, besides just my lack of intelligence. And I suck at writing. I'm not that good with the English language, and it's my only language. So it puts me in between a rock and a hard place. But I don't say that for your sympathy. But what I do say is that even though you're not posting blah, 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 just you showing up incognito, maintaining some sense of anonymity, you are appreciated. This, I should have put this in the title because here is right after Schmime 11. That should be a red flag about that event, is that we can't even say the name of the event. That should already raise a red flag about perhaps a false flag. A false flag doesn't mean that it didn't happen. 2 towers came down, 3. Not many people know that. And the Pentagon getting hit with what? An airplane, a missile, I don't know. Do we have the video? No, they showed us one video and we couldn't see shit. How many video cameras do they have at the fucking Pentagon? And they don't show it to us for what? For national security reasons. Why? Because if we found out the bullshit that went on during that day, then they're fucking the nation, the ones who fucking rule it, their security might be in fucking jeopardy. And rightfully motherfucking so. I got a little worked up. But listen to this, lady. After the event, you know anything about reading body language? So fucked up. So when we look into anything that ever happens, we look up, it's called che bono, who benefits? And whoever benefited for such and such circumstance is going to be somebody who we're going to want to go and question. Read them up. Sorry, that was a little bit loud. Shout out to 9MMSMG for posting this. And I've seen all the 9/11 videos, and I've never seen this.
Well, big catastrophe, and I'm Israeli, and I hope that now.
Dog, look at the smile and how she's saying this with joy. She's beaming fucking joy, radiant light after motherfucking 9/11. Forward.
I hope that now people understand what we have to deal with. And I hope that catastrophe, and I'm Israeli, and I hope that big catastrophe. Well, big catastrophe, and I'm Israeli, and I hope that now people understand what we have to deal with, the kind of people that we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. It's just a catastrophe.
Oh my God. What happened after Schmime 11? We came in and fought even more of their wars for them, for Schmitzreal. And we were already doing that before. World War I, World War II. And then this just escalated their plan and furthered it. Libya, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq. And next on the list is Iran, who chew up another false flag. They did one in October 7th, 10th, October 7th, 10/7. And what did that do? England, British troops, together with American troops, were over there fighting their wars for them. And they have a hard time recruiting troops in the army and the navy and the military here and in other European places until it happens here, until another attack happens here that they could blame on them, when in fact they're the fucking ones behind it. Why? Because they fucking benefited from it. Did fucking any Middle Eastern country benefit from this? No. And we went into Iraq, who had absolutely nothing to do with it. We blamed Osama bin Laden, who fucking said he had nothing to do with it. It said that him or no one he knows has the fucking power and the organization to do that, except for the CIA, which is synonymous with the Mossad. Israeli intelligence agencies. Why the CIA? Because they share in the secret society of Masonry, which is ultimately Jewish in nature. Most of the initiation rituals are Noahidic, Abrahamic. Here's something. You think that the Israelis have this hate for the Muslims, their Arab neighbors? Well, guess what? They're actually more monotheistic than the Christians, than Edom, than Rome. They dislike white people more than they dislike the Arabs. And look how they treat Palestinians. Why? The Palestinians, the Arabs weren't responsible for Holocaust, for the World War II events. Who was? Every evil bad guy in a movie. A blonde-haired, blue-eyed German. If it's not that, then perhaps maybe second place would be an Arab. Third place, a Russian, still a white person. Fourth place, a Jamaican bumbleclat. Fifth place, an Italian mobster. What they don't tell you who really runs the mob? The schmooze. Whitey Bulger. The movie Casino with Robert De Niro, who was the person behind it all. He wasn't Italian, and he was representing somebody real. The number one donor, and now his wife, the Adelsons, the big casino magnates in Las Vegas. The number one supporters to Trump. Now flip that around. The number one supporters to Clinton and to the left. We have the creator of Power Rangers, who really just stole it from the Japanese, totally culture vultured it and brought it to America, Nick Saban. The number one donor to the left. So there they have, they're the number one donors to the right, and they're the number one donors to the left. And what do they have in common? Zionist, Israeli first. Schmooze. I just came up with that word today. Schmooze. Schmooze.
Well,
why did they pick this lady to interview out of everybody? Associated Press, which is run by the Rothschilds, by the way, and Reuters. The media is run by this one family who they tried to put a number on them, In 2006, they came up with a number 200 trillion fucking dollars. But they don't show up in Forbes top 100 because they don't count family wealth, blah, blah, blah. But Morgan, JP Morgan, Rockefeller, Guggenheim, all them, Vanderbilt. Simply American arms of the fucking Schmothschilds. And if you say the our child word, you'll get a banner. I'll have a banner at the bottom of my video. They'll already give me a banner for saying Schmation, Schmolocaust, Schmooze, Schmothschilds. All those things they'll give us a banner for. And there'll be a link to a Wikipedia article. If you ever went to school, not alone college, high school, you can't use a Wikipedia article as a reference source because it's run by the schmooze. And they have teams who go on Schmikipedia, schmediting it, schmonstantly. Their full-time job is to go on Wikipedia and rewrite fucking history. We get Holocaust, Schmolocaust history given to us by Steven Spielberg through a Harvey Weinstein production. They admit to running not just Hollywood, but our media. And they make up some excuse like, well, we had to do that because we weren't allowed to have jobs, like normal jobs. So we had to go into banking. So we had to go into pornography. So we had to go into the diamond trade. You've heard of blood diamonds? Go look up the diamond trade. Go look up real estate in New York. Go look up Larry Silverstein. For the most common person in the audience right now, I know I don't have to tell you, but I still I don't know how I'm still on YouTube. So, to reach the normies somehow. I know I've been shadow banned to some cabinet file. Some server is receiving my channel in a corner of some storage unit in Tel Aviv. That's not going to stop me. Keep on keeping on. Okay, that was a little intense. I would like to find some more music to play.
Well, I'm in the days from your love, you see, baby. I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go. Oh, no. I only walk my best too. I can't believe the things I do for you. What you won't do for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. In my world, only you made me do for love what I would not do. Made me do for love what I would not do.
Make me do for love. Hey, what's up, Corn Pop, the battered dude? Let's rock out with our cocks out. Yes, that sounds like a great time. No homo, but not that there's... We love everybody here. Shlomos and homos. Now here is Laura Loomer. Stu Peters has been... I guess things get brought to his attention because he's a bigger name. As much as I hate retweeting, re-Xing Stu Peters, he's putting out some good stuff. Listen to Laura Loomer.
What I will say as a Jew, it's always the Jews, right? And I'm going to say that. It is always the Jews. It is. And I say that as a Jew myself. I don't understand why the rich Jews of this country are so hell-bent on trying to destroy our country. But for some reason, so many rich Jews have a fixation on trying to destroy America. And it's not an anti-Semitic statement to make. I say that as a Jew myself, okay? I am very pro-Israel. I am a self-identifying Zionist, and I am not hateful towards Jewish people. But I will say as a Jew, the Jews' worst enemy is the Jew themselves. And I am really sick and tired of watching all of these Jews with large amounts of money in our country donate to fund the destruction of our nation and the communist takeover of America. So, okay, listen up, Jews. Okay, yeah, it's all.
Okay. Tonight we happen to have a live audience. So I'm going to play that for the live audience. It might sound a little bit weird for a second, but it's only 53 seconds. So I beg you to hang in there with me, because the live audience has to listen to this. Laura Loomer, from the people in the spotlight in question, says this. And then we're going to go and figure out why would she say this.
It's always the Jews, right? And I'm going to say that. It is always the Jews. It is. And I say that as a Jew myself. I don't understand why the rich Jews of this country are so hell-bent on trying to destroy our country. But for some reason, so many rich Jews have a fixation on trying to destroy America. And it's not an anti-Semitic statement to make. I say that as a Jew myself, okay? I am very pro-Israel. I am a self-identifying Zionist, and I am not hateful towards Jewish people. But I will say as a Jew, the Jews' worst enemy is the Jew themselves. And I am really sick and tired of watching all of these Jews with large amounts of money in our country donate to fund the destruction of our nation and the communist takeover of America. So, okay, listen up, Jews. Yeah, it's always the Jews, right? And I'm going to.
Yo, what in the actual F? First of all, did you see how she had a hard time keeping a straight face during that? Because she realized that she stepped up a level of revelation, a level of disclosure, and then redirect it towards the left. Oh, it's the leftist, communist ones who were the problem, not the right Zionist Trump-tards one, who you can make an argument, a very good argument, that they are equally as anti-American. According to evangelical Christianity, Zionist Christianity, a very close offspring of Zionist Judaism, America is Edom, Rome, the new Rome, that needs to fall, just like Germany, just like Russia, just like Rome, just like Greece, just like Babylon, just like Egypt. And they remain. And they'll set up this false dichotomy. So it's just in-groom fighting. They will come to an agreement that they ultimately aren't dual loyalists to Israel and to America. They have but one loyalty, and it's to their fucking people. And this has been showcased throughout history by them getting kicked out of 109 places. And lovers, it's more than that. The exodus out of Egypt wasn't Moses setting his people free. It was another case of them getting kicked out for being subversive. And it's not all of them, of course. I know many myself who are perfectly great people. Many Christians who don't know that they've been duped into this. Many Muslims, the same. We're in a small minority, but it's growing by the day. Evidence of that is how I was able to get a channel completely suspended and got back to half of my fellow leadership in less than a month. Albert Bashai, lots of thanks for helping that happen. And if you haven't been tuning into Albert Bashai's spaces, why? If you're not watching Adam Green, why? And although I love them very much, I'm not 100% in line with them on everything, as Albert isn't with Adam or myself, or Adam and myself, or we have our differences. Ryan Dawson, many of us, and I'm not even on that level yet, but lots of them are my friends. Jeremy McKenzie, that we have our differences. Sometimes we even come together in these spaces. Christians, Muslims, Jews, Duvid, Orthodox, Kabbalistic Jews even. And we converse in a very humane manner. And you know what? I think that's what they don't want us to do the most. To have open, genuine, authentic conversations about these things. What you won't do for love, you tried everything. Gilbert Gottfried. If you don't recognize him for having the most annoying voice perhaps ever to have ever had. Gilbert Gottfried was in 50 Shades of Grey. He would be. Oh no, here's some reading it, I guess.
Audible.com presents 50 Shades of Grey, the erotic best-selling novel read by Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah. What?
My inner goddess has stopped dancing and is staring too, open-mouthed and drooling slightly.
Hear it the way it was meant to be heard.
I'm sorry. My audio was, I didn't switch it back over. But I won't make you suffer through that. But yeah, the dude's a total perv. And is that clear your mind with the Gilbert Gottfried meditation app. Like a golden shower on your brain. The dude is a total degenerate, pumping degeneracy into our culture. Somehow he's given a big stage and to celebrate on Howard Stern's show is how he got to fame. One of his fellow fucking peoples. Now look at his fucking artwork that he sells as fine art. It is the most perverse, most elementary, sick element. It's like somebody got into an elementary school bathroom with a pack of crayons and got locked in there for 2 days. And they have a brain just brought up on television and movies. The Schmothschild media. And this is what he comes out with. Limited edition, museum quality. Oh, you know what? So Hollywood, yeah. So I got into Broadway. I'm like, I wonder who's in charge of Broadway. You would never believe. Who's in charge of visual art collection in museums? I bet you I don't even have to fucking look it up. Look at art nowadays compared to art in the Baroque era in Rome and Greece. We talk about evolution. Lots of us are not recognizing that we're devoluting. What's the opposite of fucking evolution? Devolution. Involution. The word is fucking escaping me. But you get what I'm saying. Now you take your own eyeglasses to that, your own magnifying glass to that situation. Tell me, are we evolving morally, ethically, humanitarianly, or are we fucking devolving? Devolving sounds like a real word. I came back to let you know that song's gonna be stuck in my head for many years to go. Okay, here we have Israeli terrorists, just normal Israeli citizens who is synonymous with fucking terrorists, blocking humanitarian aid from going to Gaza. So gay. They love like guys dancing together with each other. This meme right here is just so good. Me showing my quote unquote awake Christian friends, which is an oxymoron in itself. Because you can't be truly awake and still be a Christian. I know. I tried. And eventually, if you really commit to being awakened, you will step out of Judeo Christianity, Abrahamism. Now, are there some things that you could take with you from Christianity, from Judaism, even from Islam? Sure. But those myths that we were taught as historical events that happened, such as Adam and Eve, a talking, fucking, walking snake, a splitting of the Red Sea, a walking of water, a resurrecting the fucking dead. We have to be grown up in our faith. Just as one day we have to grow up and realize that the Santa Claus story isn't real in the literal sense. Is there a spiritual lesson we could bring from it? Yes. Perhaps one even hidden in it. Oftentimes. So what we look to, what I advocate, is going into the metaphorical, symbolical, allegorical meanings of these stories, metaphysical even. We bring those out and forward. And we discard and we leave behind the stuff that was perhaps brought us to this place. But if we still have the same understanding of the world as we did when we were in second grade, as we do now, which most of us do in regards to religious studies and theological issues, we're fucking infants walking around in the shell of an adult body. Me showing my awake Christian friends that they're worshiping a Jew. Great meme. Whoever came up with that meme, you get a lot of credit. Here is a pastor who the Lord told him to steal $1 million from his flock to remodel his home. The Lord told him to take $1 million from his parishioners to tell them that it was going to some Ponzi, crypto, Bitcoin pyramid scheme. But injected Jesus into it, which is not that hard to do because Christianity and many other religious denominations are a turnkey fraud, just ready to be picked up and taken forth, which so many do. If not for money, They're to abuse people psychologically, sexually. Now listen to this. This is his name is Lewis, C.K. Lewis, Lewis whatever. Jesus and the Fig Tree. A funny story. Listen to for my live audience. I'm gonna fix the sound. This is so funny. C.K. Lewis. I always forget his name.
And Jesus entered it. The story of Jesus cursing a fig tree. Does anybody by applause know of this story? Okay, that's just enough to make it clear. This is true. I mean, nothing's true in here. Story of Jesus cursing a fig tree. Does anybody by applause know of this story? Okay, that's just enough to make it clear. This is true. I mean, nothing's true in here.
Ah!
What do I know? I wasn't there. I'm just trying to make it clear that I didn't make it up. This is Mark chapter 11. It's when Mark went broke. And Jesus entered into Jerusalem, and when he had looked around about and seen all things, and the eventide was come, he went out unto Bethany with the 12. Bethany was like a suburb of Jerusalem. So he went in Jerusalem. You see all the shit downtown, but you don't stay downtown. You go to the Marriott by the airport. That's what Bethany was. And on the morrow, when they come from Bethany, Jesus was hungry. And seeing a fig tree afar off, having leaves, he came to it, if haply he might find anything thereon. But when he came to the tree, he found nothing but leaves, for the time of figs was not yet. And Jesus answered and saith unto the tree, No man shall eat fruit of thee hereafter and forever. And the disciples heard it. And in the morning when they passed by, they saw the fig tree dried up from the roots and dead. And Peter, calling to remembrance, saith unto him, Master, behold, the fig tree which thou dost cursest has withered away and died. And Jesus answered and saith unto them, Have faith in God. What the fuck kind of a Jesus story is that? Hey, Jesus, you killed a tree. That's right, motherfucker. What's the fucking point to this story? What is the moral? Jesus just killed a tree. He was hungry. He was fucking cranky. He's like, there's no figs. Fuck you, tree. You're fucking dead, you piece of shit. I wanted a fig. And the tree's like, but the time of figs is not yet. It's just not yet. I need another week. You want fruit out of season? Go to Whole Foods, you fucking Jew. I didn't do anything.
Comedy is one of the last places where you can speak a little bit of truth. Dave Chappelle got away with it. Oh, and you have to be black, too.
Story of Jesus.
Dave Chappelle, Kanye West didn't get away with it, did he? The most popular person in the world didn't get away with it, Kanye West. Taylor Swift spoke out against against Soros and his company for I think BlackRock or something, maybe Vanguard, not Vanguard, but some big hedge fund ruled by them. Bought the rights to her music, so she doesn't own shit. And when she came out and said that, they accused her of anti-Semitism. But she has been blackballed. Blackballed. That's not the word. So, I mean, they shut down Kanye. Dave Chappelle still, he's a Muslim, so he's still in there. He's still in the bird box. He's still in the sandbox, throwing sand at himself, really. I came back. Oh, yeah, there was last week, every post on my page had a content warning, graphic content. X labeled this post as containing graphic content when it was like a child and their parent riding on the back of a horse through a field of daisies. I'm like, there's nothing graphic about this. And turns out they got a bugaboo so Elon apologized for it, that some accounts that happened to, and mine was. All right. I came back to let you. Alan Watts, who I've always admired, and he's labeled a new age transcendentalist, a pagan, a heathen, whatever. And you hear lots of his talks where he's like, you must, if you see Buddha on the street, kill him, because it's not the Buddha that is the real Buddha. The Tao that people talk about is not the real Tao. But you never heard him talk about real shit like this. Listen to this.
Jesus of Nazareth? The answer is yes, because all Christians are Jews. That is to say, they have taken in the Jewish religion, lock, stock, and barrel, in the Old Testament, into their own religion. Every Christian is a Jew plus something else, which is his particular attitude to Jesus of Nazareth. Now then, let's play this game. The answer is yes.
Alan, mother-loving Watts. They don't put that in a fancy quote with a lotus flower in the background when it's the realest shit that motherfucker ever said. Listen to what Generation Zoomer thinks about Shmime 11.
Who attacked us on 9/11?
What's the group called?
ISIS.
ISIS, yeah.
A terrorist? I don't know the exact name. I forgot. I don't want to say the wrong. Iraq?
It was, I believe, a group of terrorists that hijacked a few planes, flew them into the Twin Towers.
It was the terrorist group, yeah.
Do you know what terrorist group?
Not specifically.
Do you know who attacked us on 9/11? Not really.
It's a terrorist group, I just can't remember.
Do you know why they attacked us? Like, what was their reasoning for attacking us?
I don't know.
I personally have no idea.
I guess to terrorize, I don't know, I guess.
Who attacked us on 9/11?
What's the
Let me answer that for you, Generation Zoomer. Schmitzreal, Organized World Schmoory, together with Schmasonry and evangelical Zionist Christians, and perhaps some Schmislams and Schmuslims who were perhaps their families were held at gunpoint. That even the hijackers were I think 80% of them were from fucking Saudi Arabia. Do we go into fucking Saudi Arabia? No. They're our number one fucking buddy right now in the Middle East, besides fucking Schmitzreal, because they're a bunch of fucking cryptos. And this is the future fucking generation. Has no fucking clue. That was a little bit depressing. Sorry about that. I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you. And I won't let go. Thank God we got the Super Bowl coming up, so we can forget about this world's fucked up. I recommend getting into disc golf. That is something that has helped me to deal with the fuckery of this world. Get out into nature, throw a round piece of plastic into a tree, curse out the tree. I just feel better after that. I came back to let you know. I found a new hobby that helps me to let go. I might have an anger problem, yeah. Cornpot the Battered Dude says Alan Watts was part of the Esalen Institute. Let's look it up. Let's look up Schmoosh owned Schmoogle. Let's see what the Insulin Institute. Insalin. Did you spell that right? Because it's not showing up. Esalen. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Yes, I spelled it wrong. The Esalen Institute. Let me see what Wikipedia has to say about it. There's a controversy. More claims of racism and discrimination. That shit I could get behind. Wikipedia. That's why I said, Doc, the chat, you helped this go. If it wasn't for y'all, I would never know about this shit. A non-profit American retreat center and intentional community. Well, these are already things I could get behind. Let's fucking go. Focus on mind-body connection. Let's go. Founded by Michael Murphy. Sounds like a white dude. Dick Price. I love a good dick at a good price. In 1962. Their intention, that sounded gay. Sorry. Their intention was to support alternative methods for exploring human consciousness, what Aldous Huxley described as human potentialities. Over the next few years, Salem became the center of practices and beliefs that make up the New Age movement. I fuck with New Ageism until we're channeling the Pleiadians and they're telling us that that Israel is the centerpiece for humanity and the schmooze. Oftentimes you'll find these channelers are the top channelers with the most views happen to have a certain commonality you wouldn't believe. Price ran the institute until he died in a hiking accident. Personal growth, meditation, massage, gestalt practice, yoga, psychology, ecology, spirituality, organic food, workshops. I fuck with it. In February 2017, the institute was cut off when Highway 1 was closed by a mudslide on either side of the hot springs. It closed its doors, evacuated guests via helicopter, and was forced to lay off 90% of its staff through at least July. Damn. Did Schmothchild direct energy weapons cause that? Found near a hot springs with like Native American stuff. Oh, it was built on the side of a fucking cliff. Okay, I can see how that might have been. Okay. Oh, look at this Insulin art barn. That looks freaking cool as shit. Dude, thank you for that comment. I'm going to this place. I think I just found my place. Founded with the help of Stanford, coming out of Harvard after visiting an ashram in India. I'll have to look into Price more. Oh, there he is. Handsome fella. Reminds me a little bit of me. Except for those ears and that nose. Comparative religion. They met at the suggestion of Frederick Spiegelberg. Uh-oh. We got a Spiegelberg. Let's look into him. Oh, Rudolf Otto, Paul Tillich, Martin Heidegger, Carl Jung. All people I'm familiar with. Let's look at his early life. You know what? Whatever. He could be Jewish. Doc, I know I'm a little bit critical, but there's many good Jewish people, Christians, Muslims out there. Problems with the lease property, okay. We all have that. I have problems with my landlord. Lord knows. The Gestalt practice sounds foreign to me. Countercultural movement? I'm okay with that. You know what? Joan Baez led a workshop there. Oh, I love her. We should look up Joan Baez live songs. You know, I just had a friend who died recently, which is a sad fucking story. And we had a Joan Baez song that was our song. And it was really sad. I like to play live songs because they don't cut me off. Her song was Diamonds and Rust. Joan Baez live. I might start crying. I might get emotional. Oh. She was Irish. An Irish folk singer. I'm gonna cry.
I'll be damned, here comes your ghost again, but that's not unusual. It's just a familiar spell when you happen to call. And here I sit, hand on the telephone, hearing a voice I know a couple of light years ago, heading straight for a fall. As I remember, your eyes were bluer than robin's eggs. My poetry was lousy, you said. Where were you calling from? A booth in the Midwest.
She fucked with Bob Dylan, who is real last name Bob Dylan, not Bob Dylan from the Tribe, who totally stole his music style off of somebody else. Culture vulturing, like always. She fucked with him for a little bit to find out that he was a fucking dork. She was fucking taller than him and fucking whiter. I'm not a white supremacist, but I recognize that white people have a target on their back, so I'm gonna stick up for them. Because I'm fucking one of them. Especially if you got blue eyes, blonde hair. You really have a target on your back. Folk music. The Volk. Buy a Volkswagen or a Mercedes or a Ford. An Audi. Range Rover. Porsche. BMW. Don't buy Lexuses or anything Japanese. That's what they do. They fucking love that shit. Like diamonds and pearls. Okay, so the Esalen. So far, I'm okay with the Esalen. Oh, wait a second. They arranged meetings for Yeltsin and Bush. Initiative to further understanding among Jews, Christians, and Muslims. Also, looks like the Russians got involved. They had to close that another landslide. The landslide will bring you. Oh, let's listen to that song next. Is that in bad taste? Did people die? Take my love and then take it down. That's how we find music. We just ride the currents. We surf the landslide. Take it down. Sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? And can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Well, I've been afraid of changes 'cause I built my life around you. Thank you for tuning in to this show. We will now let you go. Let you